1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Yay! Welcome back.
Yay!
Nate is still on his quest, on his spiritual quest to find Jesus. Nate, have you found Jesus yet?
I think he's behind me.
He is behind you. Okay.
Okay.
He's coming back.
Huh? On the 31st of May.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, so welcome back to another episode of Wacky Talkies, and it looks like it's gonna be a delicious episode. I mean, we got some cookies and some cake here. If you haven't guessed already by the theme of these cookies, this show is gonna be about horror. How would you say? You say horror.
Horror.
Horror. Mine sounds bad, like I'm saying it backwards.
Horror. And we have Jaclyn here with us today as our special guest, and she is the bringer, the bearer of cookies. More importantly, the bearer of coffee.
Yes.
I thank you very much.
Can't live without it.
So we're having coffee and cake and cookies. Jaclyn, you want to tell them a little bit about yourselves?
My name is Jaclyn, and I am a real estate agent. Starting out, trying to get the word out about me. I'm actually going to be taking a lot of classes. They're certified in home staging, so it's not just like a basic real estate agent. It's going to be home staging. It's going to be negotiating skills. It's going to be, luxury homes, as well as land in the country, farmhouse that everybody loves. So I'm actually going to be making sure I am set apart from just the basic agent.
So you can do all of that.
Yeah, everything. I'll specialize in it. So that way, if you need your house listing, you have home stage, the right colors, where to put the furniture. And then I also offer like the drone that's gonna give like a full, especially if you have land, like a full drone, so it gives you can see
a full view.
Yeah, a full view like in the sky of your whole backyard and layout. Professional photography, which is I cover. You don't have to pay for that.
Thanks.
So I'll be doing all of that, and then I can also have negotiating skills for the buyers and for the listing houses as well. So when the offers are coming in and you want to stick at your price, I'm gonna make sure I'm certified in everything that a lot of agents don't. They just get their license and then they think they got it. But I want to be where I am like the best.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set it apart from everybody else. You're gonna get a full package, not the basic.
You got it, girl.
So.
Girl power.
And I bring coffee and cookies.
And she brings coffee and cookies.
Yeah.
I mean, she's my favorite guest already.
Imagine your open house, because if I did this for just anybody,
Yeah.
And you're not just envy, she's not just envy. Y'all are not just
envy. And where are these from?
Okay, so the cookies are actually from Whisked Bakehouse. She's based in Terrell, and she can pretty much make anything. I mean, detailed.
Yeah, I like this one where it says "Enter if you dare." I think I'm gonna get a tattoo of that right there on my thigh.
On your what? On your thigh?
Yeah.
Enter if you dare. I mean, these are detailed. I love it.
Oh my God, look, she has a raven. Quote the raven.
Yes.
It's Quoth the Raven.
Quoth the raven, whatever.
And the coffee is actually from Main Street Coffee.
I love that.
It's Main Street Company. It's an amazing coffee store based in Crandall. And they have all kinds of goodies and bakeries and pastries and everything too. They actually made this cake for me. It's a chocolate cake, but she put red dye in it because we wanted to look a little bloody, go with the theme, We had to put the red in there. But yes, they are amazing too. And I'll give their info and all of them.
Yeah, we'll put it below in the description.
Yes.
Right, Nate, you'll do that?
Yes.
Right, Nate will do it.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
We'll
what am I putting in?
We'll also have Jaclyn's information down below as well. So you can follow her on Instagram.
I have Instagram, I have a Facebook, I got my website in the works, but once that's up, my Facebook and Instagram will link completely to that as well, so you'll have that access to if you're already following my Instagram and my Facebook.
Cool.
All right, awesome. So
we're gonna start eating because I'm hungry. But
Yeah, you're hungry. I'm glad you can.
We'll be eating on the episode instead of you this time, Nate.
Oh, wow. That's a turn of events.
Yeah, I apologize for my smack.
What did you do this weekend? How has it been on your spiritual quest?
It's been pretty good. I didn't do anything because I mostly worked because I don't have anything to do.
What do you work? What are you doing?
Food delivery.
Oh, okay. They have that down there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you have any weird stories to tell about your food deliveries?
Not really. The weirdest thing that happened, it wasn't even really that weird, but it was something kind of odd. Well, I got a request to go get some churches. So I went to go get to the churches that I was told to go get.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the address given, and it was just this random house. Instead of the churches, it was just a random house. And it wasn't really even a house, it was more like a shack. But I had to call the number of the churches saying, hey, where are you guys? And they said, oh, we're in this other area on the other side of town. So
You got the wrong address or what?
The DoorDash app had the wrong address. So I drove 17 minutes away from the desired place while the customer was texting me in Spanish, and I couldn't figure it out. So I drove all the way to the churches. I got the churches, and I'd have to drive 17 minutes back because that's where the customer was.
And were you speaking Spanish to them? Were you texting them in Spanish? You know what?
No, I didn't. No, I couldn't do it because I was driving too. So I was driving back, and then they were like, my lunch ends at 12:45, and I'm like, well, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it by then. So, and then I made it there like at 12:53, and then it was their address that they were located was at a school, high school. So I was like, maybe they're a faculty member. But then these two teenage boys came up and was like, hey, we want our food. And I'm like, okay.
I bet you they were pissed too, bro. They were like so pissed that you had gone the wrong way.
No, it was not my fault. It was the DoorDash app.
No, but they were pissed that the DoorDash fucked up and made you go the fucking other way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just stuck there waiting for their food, and they're like, fuck.
Where's my chicken?
Yeah, but this is not a chicken podcast. It's a movie podcast, right, Ruby?
I am for the animals, so no, we will not support chicken on this podcast.
You know what my favorite chicken place is, Ruby?
Huh.
It's Chick-fil-A. I love it.
Mine's really crazy.
See my Arthur fist. This is my.
That's your Arthur fist? Okay, well, today we're going to be talking about ghost movies, the paranormal.
Horror.
Horror.
Activity.
Horror paranormal.
It's not limited. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is kind of limited. It's kind of limited to horror paranormal movies and shows. But Jackie actually has this really cool trivia that she set up for us. So Nate,
What is it?
if it's okay, she's gonna ask you and I questions to see if we know the answer.
I want to test y'all's knowledge.
Okay.
Our knowledge.
So no peeking.
Okay.
Okay.
No peeking.
I'm not peeking.
Ruby.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay. A virus turns Britain into an island of deranged cannibals in less than a month. What movie is that?
And this is in Britain? Does that take place in Britain?
A virus turns Britain into an island.
28 days?
Yes.
Ah, snap. I was going to guess that.
Okay, next one. Two criminals. I can't speak today. Two criminals and their hostages fight off Mexican vampires in a strip joint.
Oh, Dawn of the Dead. Was it? No, from Dusk Till Dawn.
That's so
From Dusk Till
dumb.
Dawn.
She is schooling you right now.
I'm
And
sorry.
I'm sure she has not seen any of this.
I have not. Scouts
didn't.
honor.
She didn't. She didn't see any of this, and that's one of my favorite movies too. If we're talking about George Clooney. Oh my,
George Clooney.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so evil doctor. This one's easy. Creates a female companion for his famous reanimated monster.
Is it the Reanimator?
No.
No.
Frankenstein's bride?
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster?
Or monster?
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein's bride. So
Ooh.
this is the sequel. That was the sequel. It was a trick question.
Boy, I swear to God, I have not seen what she has put on.
Is it the Bride of Frankenstein? The
Yeah, the
Mel
Frankenstein.
Brooks film?
I don't know.
It's the Frankenstein's bride. In the question, it said he makes the female companion. So you have to make sure you remember it's the sequel. Because in the first one, it's the bride's not in there yet.
The first one is just Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one is homicidal maniac stalks teens in their dreams.
Is it Nightmare on Elm Street?
Freddy
Yes.
Krueger, yeah.
Yeah.
Cougar, yes, exactly. My favorite villain, Freddy Cougar.
That's your favorite. So he
That's
got
your
that
favorite villain?
Yeah, Freddy Cougar, yes.
The child molester.
one.
No, you're thinking about Freddy Krueger. I'm thinking
That
of Freddy
is Nightmare.
Cougar.
Big nightmare.
That is Freddy Krueger. That's what we're talking about.
No, I'm talking about Freddy Cougar.
Yeah.
That's the same thing, Nate.
No, it's not.
In Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
Okay, next.
one.
Okay. So I'll talk about the answer after y'all answer because I don't want to give it away. But murderer and his mother prey on guests at their hotel.
Psycho.
No.
Oh.
Bates Motel?
Bates Motel.
What? That is Psycho. It is the same thing.
Oh.
But it's called Bates Motel.
That's the TV show that's supposed to be based on the film.
Y'all could tie because I said Bates Motel because I just binge watched it on Netflix and loved it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I didn't even watch it, but I knew about it.
no, I
Oh.
love it. Like
I knew about it. So whenever he said, because Psycho was my original first answer, but when you said no to him, I was like, well, then it has to be Bates Motel.
I didn't realize it was kind of like the same thing. I was going off Netflix. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a tie. We'll do a tie.
Yeah.
Caretaker goes insane in haunted hotel and hunts his family.
Shining.
Yep. Shining.
Oh, he is the character.
It's Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
Right?
I forgot
And
that.
his character's name is Jack, too.
Yeah, it is Jack.
This one might be hard. Garden power tools used for evil in the southern USA.
Garden
Tools
used for what?
for evil in the south. Don't get it mixed up with another, like,
I kind of thought you were going with Shaun of the Dead at first, but that's not in the southern.
That's not even horror. It's more of a comedy.
It's a horror comedy. I love Shaun of the
this
Dead.
one's kind of an older one. It's like, it came out in 1997.
1997.
Wait, what was the question again?
Garden power tools
Garden power tools
used for evil in the south.
used for evil in
John
the south.
Cusack, Allison Eastwood was in it, and it came out in 1997.
John Cusack. Shit, I don't know.
Pass. Y'all give up?
I give up.
I give up. Yeah.
Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
I've
I
never.
would never have gone that.
You need to go back and research it and watch it. See what's in it.
Yeah, and now I'm kind of interested. Like garden power tool. Like.
Alright, next.
Next, okay. Ham Cam records teens terrified by an unseen foe in the woods.
Oh,
Unseen
Blair
foe.
Witch Project.
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch Project, okay.
Mm-hmm. Cursed videotape condemns watchers to a terrible fate at the
The
hands
Ring.
of Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
he was bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is The Ring?
What is
It's
Jesus doing behind you?
This is horror Jeopardy. Okay.
It sounds because your questions are like Jeopardy questions. They're like an answer.
I'm talking too. I'm talking like
No,
the guy
they're
off
not.
Jeopardy.
We need to edit in the noise back here.
Yeah. Edit. Teenage telekinetic rape at the high school dance where
Oh,
Carrie. I got it right. I said it first.
I said it first.
priest confronts demon after it possesses
Exorcist.
The Exorcist, yeah.
Ah.
I hate that movie.
Okay, the devil's son is smuggled into a wealthy family. His enemies meet terrible accidents.
Omen?
Rosemary's Baby.
The Omen.
Oh, The Omen. Oh.
Cannibalistic genius torments criminal profiler from behind glass.
Oh, The Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Clear.
from behind the
Okay, last one. Escape from lunatic in William Shatner's mask terrorizes neighborhood one fall night.
Oh, that's Halloween.
So
I
good.
think we were pretty good, weren't we?
Yeah, I think you won though, Ruby.
I don't know.
I think so, because you got more than me.
I'm not keeping score.
And she
I
didn't.
think
No.
I think the real winner is that we have fun. That's
Well, Jackie and I have a lot of fun. Actually, if you see the video, like Sonia Kilo's video that we were in,
Mhm.
we were acting.
We were living it up.
Yeah, we were acting a fool. Like
Mhm.
they had been drinking. We were like all lit, and we were like pumped up from the music video. And I'm over here, like having the best time because they're like, have fun, you know, have like crazy fun. Like it's a crazy scene or the crazy party, and it's nothing but girls. So her and I were like playing that role, and I'm like feeding her cake.
Yeah.
And I was
She took care of me. I felt like she was mothering me, like a drunk
I'm
mother.
like
that
pouring
was-
her drinks
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
It's like,
we
eat
had.
this. I'm like, she's
A lot
pouring
of fun.
drinks. You can see that she's pouring, like she's making sure I'm dehydrated with alcohol.
I'm
Mhm.
hydrated. You're hydrated.
And she's feeding me, and I think there's one point she's even spanking me.
I don't know what happened.
She's spinning me in a chair. I'm spinning her in the chair. She was like all of. I felt really loved that day. Like,
We'll
Okay.
link to the video below.
and that was the first day me and her met too.
Yeah.
Like first
Well,
day.
no, we had rehearsed.
Oh yeah, we did rehearse.
Yeah,
We did
So
rehearse
we were
it.
like we had seen each other, so it wasn't me just hitting on a random girl.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew her.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least like for a few hours before we were.
All right. So there's a couple of films that I would like to discuss today.
You
The
wanna
first
let
one.
you wanna
Where'd
let
you
the
go,
guest
Ruby?
go first? Nate,
What?
you wanna let the guest go first?
Do you
and
want to
then
go
me?
first?
No, the guest. The guest.
Yeah,
and
I was
you.
talking to the guest.
And then you and then me.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, Jackie?
Sure. See,
All right, go first.
I don't care if you call me Jackie. I mean, Jaclyn Wolf is how you're gonna find me online.
Mhm.
But everybody calls me Jackie or Jack. Actually, my closest friends just say Jack. But
All right.
I answer to all. Like I'm so used to it. But yeah, my first one.
That you
Okay.
wanna mention?
I want to mention. Well, my most favorite. There's a movie and a show that I like right now. But my favorite all-time movie when it's Halloween time is Practical Magic, which is the
Aw, practical.
yeah, Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. It's like my favorite. Mostly because I like it because Sandra Bullock in the movie is kind of like a good witch, and like she makes those shampoos and like lotions for people. Like she uses her powers for like good kind of thing. And I wish I could do that. I feel like is modern day people that do that. You know, the natural lotions,
Yeah.
essential oils. And
No,
all
I
natural
get you.
stuff.
I've always been interested in that. Like, I don't know. Maybe it is just us girls. I don't know. Have you ever been like interested in the Wicca religion, Nate? Like,
Isn't that where you just worship the earth?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not always using all natural products, but I know a lot of people that do. And I feel like maybe back then they just called them witches, but really they just were into home
They were like
remedies.
healers. Or
Yeah, they
something.
just liked home remedies and they just like used everything like natural beeswax.
It was the
and this.
men. The men always trying to get rid of us women.
And I tease my mother-in-law because she sells like my great uncle or my husband's great uncle has like beehive farm.
Oh,
And they use
cool.
the actual beeswax, and she actually melts it down, and she makes lotions and soaps and
Wow, that's
chapstick
cool.
out of like natural lavender and the beeswax. And I always joke with her, and I call her like witchery. I was like, "Are you doing your witchery in the kitchen right now?" Because she's on the stove, and it looks like that, but it's like.
yeah.
I was like, maybe that's what it is. That's what made me think. Like maybe that's what it was back then. They were just trying to. They didn't have Walmart to go buy stuff. They had to make their own.
Yeah.
And then Practical Magic, I mean, I know there's darker stuff to it. Like they try to make it seem dark. I was like, but there's some movies out there that make witches like it's a choice, good or bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most of them are. Have you seen that movie, Nate? Practical Magic?
I have not.
And it's more of a love story too, so that's also kind of why I
That's
love it.
probably why he doesn't watch it.
Yeah, it's more of like a love. It has a love story to it, but it's pretty good. But the TV show that I like is the new Sabrina. The new one, not the old classic one. I think her name was like Melissa Joan Hart, and the old one I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one was more like teen boppy, goody good. This one I kind of like it because it's dark, very very dark. It's more
Very
sexual,
dark.
worship Satan, and I don't worship Satan. I don't, okay? But I like the twist that, you know.
That was actually the show that I was gonna mention. I'll talk about it a little bit.
I guess I do like the more, if I'm going to pick one of the horror movies where there's werewolves, there's vampires, I kind of like the witches. I feel like maybe they're just misunderstood.
Yeah, we are just.
And you realize witches are, there's warlocks, but mostly they try to save the females. I'm like, maybe they were just jealous.
Yeah.
They're just jealous.
Definitely. Men are so jealous of us.
Trying to like our beautiful sexiness, oh, it must be a spell. You know? Like, we're just jealous.
Alright, so, my turn. Now, there's this one film that I would really like to talk to you guys about. It is a 2008 film by Joel Anderson, and it is a film that is considered to be one of the scariest films that has been made in recent memory. Like, so much so that people who think The Exorcist is just meh, like, oh, The Exorcist, it's not
2008.
Huh?
2008.
Yeah, and it was like,
I remember that marketing slogan. I remember that marketing slogan where they were like, scarier than The Exorcist or whatever.
Yeah, well, I don't know. A lot of people like to say that, but for people who thought The Exorcist was just they are terrified of this particular film, and it's an Australian film.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Is it The Conjuring?
No.
Okay.
The Conjuring's not an Australian film.
Well, I don't know where it was from. I'm just saying. I remember that a lot of people said that The Conjuring was pretty scary.
Yeah, but it is a 2008 film called Lake Mungo.
I really never heard of it.
Is it because it's Australian? Like it's not mainstream?
Yeah. You can watch it for free on Tubi if you want to check it out. And it takes place in 2006 Australia, where strange things start happening after a girl is found drowned in a lake.
Well, dude, like Australia, period. If you're gonna say put me in Australia, like I would be scared already. Have you seen the fucking size of the spiders over there? And that's just on a normal day-to-day basis shit that you see that. Like, no, I couldn't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they
Australia has
most deadliest poisonous animals, and like I remember Margot Robbie that plays Harley Quinn. She was in an interview and she's from Australia. And she was talking about like poisonous snakes would just be like around and it was nothing to her because they're so used to it when they walk outside they can see literally spiders and snakes and they don't freak out like we would here.
Don't ever take me to Australia.
I don't want to go to Australia ever.
No. So, the film is basically formatted like a mockumentary style film, and it's like this filmmaker interviewing this family who just lost their eldest daughter in a drowning, and it's like the most realistic depiction of loss that I have seen in any form of media. And basically we see them, how they cope with this sudden loss of this person that was so dear to them, and what they do afterwards. And as time goes on, they start, their youngest son got into photography, and then when he started taking pictures around the house, he started noticing this ghostly apparition of their deceased family member, and that's when that whole thing starts coming up. That's when the film starts picking up. But
so does the film feel like Blair Witch Project, where it's like they have the camcorder on them? And
no, it's more mockumentary. It's like they're talking to a camera. It's like a documentary, but it's not real. Mm-hmm. And
they're like interviewing people, basically.
Yeah, they're interviewing like the family and the neighbors and everything. And a lot of this thing is this whole idea of closure, because the mother, when they went to the mother and the father went to go identify the body of their drowned daughter, the mother wanted to not go in and see it, but the father went in instead, and so he got to see the body and identified her, and
wrenching.
Yeah, and
So what kind of mysterious things start happening after?
Huh?
What kind of mysterious things start happening?
It is like it's very like her apparition is showing up. Huh?
Like, is she haunting them or something after she?
Yeah, like her apparition would show up in the in photos that the brother would take, and like a ghostly figure would walk around the halls of the house and everything. And then as like time goes on, more and more is revealed about the daughter than we see, and whatever caused her death actually happened when she took a trip to the titular Lake Mungo. And so the family is trying to figure out what happened exactly on that trip that caused her death. And there's this one scene which is considered to be like the scariest part of the film, and it's one of the scariest scenes that anybody's ever seen in any form of media, where the daughter is filming on her old brick phone around the woods in Lake Mungo, and she is just walking around in the dark until she sees like this figure just standing there, and then as she approaches it, she sees her own dead, bloated body just standing there, and then it cuts off, and then the next time we see her is her burying the phone that she filmed it on. So there's that whole thing. It's very, very scary, creepy when we watch it. And my question is to you, like, if you lose somebody, if somebody passes away that's really close to you, how do you think you would react to that whole thing?
What's
To
weird?
what whole thing? To losing somebody?
Yeah.
Like, tragically?
Or
Yes.
or someone dying and then having their ghost around you all the time?
No, the first one.
Tragically?
Yeah.
How do you think we would react?
What? I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
Well, what's
You're gonna
weird?
be super fucking sad. I mean,
Yeah.
I just found out this morning that my cousin passed away. He was only 44, and he passed away of a heart attack, and this was not his first heart attack.
wow, at a young age.
It actually runs in my family. A lot of the men, we have like diabetes and high blood pressure in our family. And I had an uncle that passed away when he was 47, and then now this is my cousin. He's only 44, and he just had a heart attack, and I just found out this morning. You know what I mean?
Wow. Like, seriously.
So it's like crazy. And then tragically, I mean, I haven't had anyone like in my family die tragically, like in a bad thing like that to walk in. I've had people die suddenly where I didn't expect it. Like my grandma, like I was really close with her, and she just passed away recently, like maybe a year ago.
I'm actually going to a funeral today.
All right. So let's move on. Your
fucking feelings.
Yeah.
What?
Talking about
Like,
ghosts.
what?
Talking about ghosts and afterlife and.
We have our own ghosts today.
Mm.
Is it my turn, or are
Yeah.
you still talking?
Your turn.
So she mentioned my favorite horror show that I was gonna say was my favorite show, or that I wanted to mention, because Sabrina is like the first show that I could ever sit there and watch and be like, I'm looking at the devil right now, like Satan.
You're saying it like it's a good thing. It's not a good thing.
No, I'm saying like other movies, like I wouldn't be able to see anything demonic or nothing like that. I don't like it. I hate The Exorcist. I don't ever want to see it. My brother tries to get me to see it like on the slide because he loves to see my reaction. He loves to get me really scared.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't fuck with none of that shit. So that's
Okay.
where I was watching Sabrina. I was like, I can actually watch this. You know, they set it up in a way where it's really dark. Like you said, it's really, really dark. It's the total opposite of the one that we watched when we were young. Which is good because it stands on its own. You know, the other one was more comical, so it stands like on a comical platform. This one is more horror and it's more dark, like she said, more like sexually fantasized. You know, it's also the same way. You know, so it stands on its own. And so I could actually like sit there and watch it and see everything at the time that, like she said, they're like Hail Satan and oh, for heaven's sake, or something like that. You know, they're always like twisting the two. So it's something that I can watch, and that's what I like, that they make it watchable for people like me who are like really scary cats of the other stuff.
And I like it because, like I said, like even with, I feel like they get a choice, good or bad, and she's struggling with that choice. Like
yes, so they also make it to where at the end she defeats the fucking devil.
Yeah.
Like, watching season 2,
and she's
like yesterday.
She was the
daughter. She was supposed to be. That's his daughter. Like that Sabrina is Satan's daughter.
Is she supposed to be the Antichrist?
Yeah, but like she was supposed to be the queen of hell. Like he was her dad, but he was also going to have her as his bride.
Yeah, it's weird.
What?
So,
that's weird.
Yeah. So she was supposed to be the queen of hell with him and rule in hell together. She said, "Not today, Satan." She literally said that on the show, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love that they did that."
Yeah.
Okay.
But she did that, and she had the choice, and she chose to go against her, like who he was or whatever. She chose to. She was like, "Fuck that! I ain't gonna let that nigga win," and she killed his ass. No, she didn't kill him, but she trapped him. Yeah, she trapped him. So it was good because in the end, you're like, haha, you know, he's defeated.
That's kind of why I think I like the witches, is because it's not all bad. Like you can be good. They kind of get their choice. They believe in, you know, if I do this bad thing or if I out of the normal, then I know something's going to come back to me like karma. Like okay, I have to sacrifice this to do this, and I feel like that's kind of life too. And I like how it's still like heaven and hell. And
she always it's not always about Sabrina too. Like the characters that they place around her are so good. Like her aunts, she has her 2 aunts, and they're funny. You know, one of them is like so strict, and the other one is all like goofy and loopy, and you know they have their little comedic moments, which are, you know, they're funny, they're lighthearted. And then they have Harvey, who's played by Ross Lynch, who my daughter is so in love with. Harvey is like the sweet, like all-American guy, and then she has a friend who just happens to be a psychic, because it runs in her family, and they were cursed by witches. And then she has a friend who transitions from being a girl to a boy, and he sees ghosts, like he sees his ancestor from like way behind him. They all have like their own abilities, you know, and they all come together. Like on this last season, they all come together and they're like, yeah, we're a club now. We're gonna go fight evil together. Hoorah, you know.
The only thing I've been curious about the show is like Lilith. Yeah, Lilith. Whenever they defeat Satan, Lilith is gonna take his place.
Yeah.
But I don't remember even at church anybody ever talking about Lilith.
Nobody ever talks about Lilith because Lilith is like a made up person, supposedly. Like Lilith
is just the first wife of Adam.
They're just like adding on.
I actually started like researching her after the show. I was like, who is this Lilith chick?
They mentioned her in True Blood. Did you ever watch that show?
No, I never watched True Blood.
She's on there.
But I researched that she was actually Adam and Eve, Adam's first wife.
Yeah.
That's what I read. There's other people that, other cultures and everything that believe in Lilith.
Yeah.
And so they kind of teach it there. I think it's like a Jewish or something like that. Like someone. Really? Yeah, I think they believed in her. She was Adam's first wife.
Oh, they believe in
her. And they actually believe that she was the snake in the Adam and Eve that got Eve to bite the apple. Because she was Adam's first wife. She was kind of the snake, not Satan. It was actually her. And then she was actually became Satan's like girlfriend or why like what she ended up doing or something. Like I'm still kind of researching because I'm curious.
Yeah.
Like how come I've never heard of her? But now I'm seeing her in movies. I'm seeing her like come up in different areas.
Because it's just like them, you know, it's just writings like Greek mythology. Like,
yeah.
all of those stories and stuff like that. Like they just add on to what could have existed or what couldn't, you know.
And I'm really into mythology. Like I'm a history freak, and I love mythology. Even though, you know, I'm not saying I believe that we have I believe in God, but I think I just get interest. I like to know everything and kind of see how they link up. Like why do these people believe this and we believe this?
It's just good to always learn about everything, and if you're learning about someone else's culture and you know, educating yourself on it, I think that's great because that's one good way to show like empathy towards other cultures and other people, because you don't always know somebody. You can't always, you know, judge by, you know, the book of the cover, basically.
And I guess I could read more books, but that's why I like watching movies.
I don't have time.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have time.
I wish I could read.
I barely get time to watch movies, but I do like watching movies, even like horror movies about other cultures to see what they believe in. Like why were the Egyptians scared of cats or scared of these dogs? Like why did they?
Cats rule.
Yeah, like I like to know things. I feel like that's me kind of researching history, and movies give me more time.
No, it's good.
I don't have time to read a book.
The more you know. Yeah. That gift. I did want to mention the movie that scared me the most, like aside from Exorcist, right? I wanted to mention Sabrina because it was my favorite thing that I could watch that's horror related or whatever. But the horror movie that scared me the most, like for a whole week straight. And I don't know if it's paranormal because it's alien related. Is that paranormal?
No, it's not.
Okay, then I'm not gonna say that one. I'm gonna say the one that is. Well, I don't know if this one's paranormal either.
Anything that deals with ghosts or demons is paranormal.
Yeah, and see, I haven't seen anything like that because, like I said, I stay away from that. I stay away from
another TV show that really scared me that I even had to watch it during the day. It was on Netflix. Was the House on Haunted Hill or the Hill House?
Oh, see, that one was good, but that one didn't scare me that much. Well, you know what? Yeah, she's right. Like it kind of did scare me at the beginning, but the story was so good and it intrigued me. So I was like, "Fuck! Now I have to watch this shit because I want to find out, you know, the story." And it ended up, you know, actually being really good at the end, and it wasn't as scary because you understood everything at the end. So I love that show.
The Midnight Lady scared me, and I was watching it during the day.
But then you find out that it's not anything, and it was just her.
I don't care. I was so scared. I had nightmares. I couldn't sleep. I told you my house is scary.
I couldn't keep watching. Well, yeah, especially in the house that you're living in.
So like any kind of creak, like I was like, and my husband works nights, y'all, so he's not there. Like it's just me and the kids, and I'm like, I play in my head.
Yeah.
How am I gonna protect my kids? Like. If there's a ghost, my husband's not there. You can't fight a ghost.
What's your husband gonna do?
Yeah. I'm like freaking out. Well,
everybody knows that whenever you come in contact with a ghost, you say, "Hey, you gonna pay rent here, or you need me to help me to cross over, or what?" Because you can't.
That's not how it works at all.
And say, "Possess him." I'm gonna take my kids and run.
How does it work, Nate?
Well, you can't just reason with it.
No. No, that's not
have you tried though?
My husband
have you tried?
People have tried. He
sacrificed himself for me, so I would just push him down. He would possess him because they're
no. The thing
somebody.
is that they say these spirits supposedly, like I don't know, but supposedly it just depends on the kind of spirit that it is. There can be malicious or malevolent.
That's a poltergeist.
Malevolent spirits that kind of want to do you harm and they want to scare you, and then there's
a poltergeist
that are kind of just floating, like.
But that show, the way it was, like that was her future body. Remember, haunting her. Yeah. So it's like what the ghost can come in the past now.
That's one thing that I didn't get. Like that was one thing about the show that I didn't get, and I'm so mad that they're not. That this next season that they're gonna come out with is not gonna be related to anything in the first season, because I thought they were gonna continue unraveling and showing us more. But it's supposed to be like American Horror Story. You know how American Horror Story? Yeah, that's what I was just trying to mention. Like, it's It's your future self calling. You gotta answer it, Nate.
Okay.
That's scary. I mean, that's scary. Like, my future dead self is going to come back and haunt me. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why would I do that to myself? She tortured herself. Like, why?
Yeah, basically. I don't know. That's the
And
part
the
that I don't
show did
understand.
make it seem like the twins have some kind of psychic connection, like their mom. That's why it was able to do that. The mom had like a kind of psychic nurturing thing about her, just like the daughter, she could touch things. That's why she always wore gloves.
Yeah.
So it was like another psychic thing between them two to be able to see themselves. Because remember, the brother also saw
Yeah,
them
that
in
makes
like,
sense.
He also saw her.
Yeah.
They had a connection, so it was like another psychic. Not all the kids got it, but the twins did, and that one daughter.
I remember that. Yeah, that's what happened.
And the other two were more in like denial. They didn't, you know what I mean? They didn't.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
I have not, but I'll make sure I'll do that.
I was
on American Horror Story, I couldn't watch the second season all the way through. Asylum. That one's scary.
I've watched some of them. The first one's still my favorite.
The first one is good.
It's still my favorite.
I don't know.
All right, we gotta move it on.
Okay. How much?
Right.
Did you put the timer on?
Yeah, we got like 14 minutes left.
Okay.
All right, so the next film that I would like to talk to you guys about, we're gonna go into our time machines. Okay.
Time machine again.
We're gonna go back to 1970. Where are you going?
We're falling asleep. We're gonna go take a nap.
Bye.
We're gonna go to 1975 Spain. Okay. So, and we're gonna be talking about the 2007 film by J.A. Boyana, who ended up making Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. And it is a film called The Orphanage.
The Orphanage.
Yes.
And it was made when?
2007.
Oh, okay, but it's based back in 1975.
Yeah.
Okay. The Orphanage. I think
The
I
Orphanage.
heard about that.
And it is about a woman who brings her family back. The woman is played by Belen Rueda. Brings her family back to her childhood home, which used to be an orphanage for handicapped children. Before long, her son starts to communicate with an invisible new friend. Ooh, spooky. So, basically, the premise of this film is that this woman, the mother, is raising this kid, and this kid starts talking to these imaginary friends, or who she thinks is imaginary friends, but they're actually ghosts.
Were they like the others?
Kind of, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
And so, yeah, he starts talking to these ghosts, and he tells her, oh snap, they take things from you that you are like, that's very precious to you, and then they make a little scavenger hunt, and when you find the thing that they took from you, you get to make a wish. And then she's like, that's great, kid. Until one day, they decided to do it on her. And you know what the one thing that she prizes the most?
What?
Her kids.
Her kid.
Okay.
So they took him. And now she has to find him. But at first, she was like...
Telling scary stories. No, you're not.
Huh? What?
I think you're not good at telling scary stories.
I'm great. Ooh. But what happened is that she was like, I don't believe in this ghost nonsense. So I'm not even gonna entertain the idea of the scavenger hunt. So what she does is she just puts in a missing persons report, and then just have the police just meander about for 6 months.
Damn.
Like, she didn't even care. Like, no
Yeah.
search stories. She wasn't out looking for her kid. She was like,
Well, she had the police.
She had the police doing it, but she ended up staying in the orphanage house while her husband is like, you're going insane because now you're thinking it's the ghosts who took him. So he was like, you know what, you stay here, do your thing, and I'm gonna leave. And then she's like, you know what? I think I will. And so she finally decides to do the whole scavenger hunt thing until she finds the dead bodies of the actual dead ghost children. And that's it. Yay!
Did she even find her kids?
No, she did find her kid. He was actually in the basement the whole time.
For 6 months?
Yeah.
And lived?
In their house basement?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was like a hidden doorway.
Oh. I was gonna say, how the fuck would they not look down there?
How does he live for 6 months in the basement? Like
He doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't?
Yes.
So he's dead?
He's
I don't like
dead.
him.
Oh.
I don't know. The movie implies that.
Well, he's dead because she was supposed to do the scavenger hunt a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
She was supposed to do it. She waited, so it was her fault.
Yeah. So it's implied that the mother dies too, and basically becomes the ghost mother of these orphan children ghosts.
This is not a great movie. I don't not like this. I like
Why?
happy movies. Even if they're scary.
It's horror.
Even if they're scary, they're supposed to still end right. Like I don't like this. Like I don't like it.
That is
I don't agree
sad, bro. So she sees the corpses of the children. What happened to those?
Well,
They tricked her. They wanted her to die so they could just take care of her. That's evil.
yeah.
So what happened to those kids? Did they say what happened to those kids?
I think yes. There was this one person who was like an employee of the orphanage, who ended up killing everyone, and then she ran away.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Maybe from that person.
I know, right?
Which is the funny thing is that she visits the mother, the person who killed all the orphans. Now she's an old lady. She comes back, visits the mother, and she was pretending to be a social worker, saying, "Oh, we need to see your son for a little bit for no reason." And then she was like, "No way, Jose, hit the road." And then she comes back and she's rummaging through their warehouse. Then she runs away. And then there's that. And then not long after that, that's when the son disappears. So she thought that that lady took her at first. And then 6 months later, she was like driving around Barcelona, and then she actually just happened upon her, like walking a baby carriage.
Mm-hmm.
And then she stops and was like, "Hey, are you that lady?" And then she turns around and is like, "Oh, I remember you." And then she gets hit by a bus. And that's it. And then she gets hit by a bus and then she dies.
Well.
But yeah, there's that. But also another thing that happened is like before the son died, Simon. I mean, not he didn't die, but after before he disappeared, they got into an argument that the mother ended up slapping him across the face, and then after that he disappeared. So, how would you guys feel if a person disappeared right after you had a heated argument?
Like, did I kill him? Was that me? Why are they just gone? Or maybe he just.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna kind of feel.
Are you saying like in a way like she feared that maybe she had done something
Like she had guilt,
or that he left her? You know, like
Yeah.
If my kids were missing and gone, I'd be a totally different person. Like I mean, I wouldn't even be the same. Most statistically, I've learned or heard, anyways. I don't know if it's true. I'm not that smart. I'm just playing. But if something happens, you're married and a child dies, usually those people do end up getting divorced because they're two different people. I've known people that have had miscarriages.
it just depends on
and
how
they
you
disconnect.
read,
You know, it's
on how you process things and if it's something that you can come back from. If it's something you know you can't come back from.
Yeah. I know that there's also people who do have kids in order to save marriages or relationships.
Oh yeah, that never works.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
But I've known people that have even like miscarriages and then they disconnect from each other. You know, especially if it was, you know, pretty far along and it was like a whole process. And then I've known people, or not known, but know of people that where their kid died, and imagine like 8, 9 years old, you pretty much had years with this child, and then now that child's gone, you feel like something's missing, and then you disconnect. So
Right.
I knew if my kids were just like seriously gone and it was like ghost, like there was no actual explanation or kidnapping, like I had no explanation how they were gone, like if it was ghosts that took them and I couldn't explain that to anybody, I believe in it, so I didn't go thinking that way. Like, yeah, I would probably be insane, especially, you know, if I felt guilt, like maybe they were telling, especially in that movie, the kid was trying to tell her, like, they could do the scavenger hunt, and then I don't think I would have waited 6 months. I think if I would have been out there doing search parties, if I had no real explanation, there was no trail of like a kidnapping or a break-in, I probably would have tried that. I'm like, hey, I would have just covered all bases. I'm going to find my kid. And I would have done it even if I didn't believe in it, just because that was the last thing that they told me before they were gone.
Yeah, you're just going to do whatever it takes.
Yeah, I think she was pretty idiotic to just be like, 6 months goes by. Yeah, the husband probably did leave, you know. I don't know.
She was an idiot.
Yeah, I see me as a mom. I'm like, Mama Wolf. I'm like, I have Mama Wolf. I'm Jaclyn Wolf. Mama Wolf. This is my pet. And I'm going to go crazy on somebody that, you know, hurts my kid or tries to take my kid. I'll be out there. I'll be like that movie with Halle Berry where she's like chasing down the driver that took her kid from the car. She's like stalled him and she wasn't going to let him out of her sight. That's me. Like,
that's a horror movie in itself because of what happened on the movie.
I haven't seen it. I just saw the preview.
No, I've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
It's like, the anxiety that it gave me.
All right, we have time for one more film, and I want to talk to it about it really quick, a little bit. And it is.
Wait, because I have to answer my boss right quick. Who was the requester that was the request number?
It's a nice picture of you.
Okay, what movie are you going to talk about?
Okay, so we're going to go into our time machines. You ready to go to your time machines?
Again, I just
Yeah,
that.
We're going to go back in time to 1980. Okay? We're in 1980, and we are going to be in Colorado.
Oh,
right.
I bet you I know what it is.
What is it?
Is it Misery or something like that?
No, I don't think that takes place in Colorado.
No?
I don't know, maybe it does, I don't know. But it's going to be the 1980 masterpiece by mastermind Stanley Kubrick, The Shining.
The what?
The Shining.
The Shining. Yeah, I was going to say that next.
And it stars a family played by Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, and Danny Lloyd, who heads to an isolated hotel for the winter where sinister presence influences the father, Jack, into violence while his psychic son, Danny, sees horrific forebodings from both past and future. Ooh. Now, this film is basically dissected, reopened, and dissected over and over again. There's like the most heavily analyzed film ever. Yeah. There's
Wait,
some...
he does see the future, right? Because there's this one scene where he's at the bar and it's like a robot bartender, right?
No, it's a ghost bartender.
Ghost. But okay, yeah, that's right.
You're thinking of Passengers.
When did he see the future?
In the beginning, when he finds out that he's gonna be going to the Overlook, he passes out and he sees the elevator of blood and the twins, and then they come out and all that.
I thought I thought those were images from what had happened there at the hotel before.
No, that hasn't happened yet. It happened like he has that vision when he finds out that they're gonna go stay at the Overlook for the winter.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's what happens. He also has like the vision of red rum and all that.
But why does he have vision?
Huh?
Because he hadn't been there yet.
Yeah, I thought he had visions because he was in the hotel.
No, he has visions because he's just a natural psychic. He has the shining. That's the whole thing.
Oh.
Okay. I didn't read the book.
It kind of reminds me of the movie, was it The Conjuring? Where it's the one where Ryan Reynolds, I think, was the one that played it, and he was also possessed and violent toward his family in the house.
That's the voices.
Amityville. Isn't it Amityville?
It's
the
that,
Amityville horror, yes.
it's kind of the same concept. Like he starts hearing the voices, he gets. But I thought that one wasn't like Indians or.
Well, that one is because of the house.
Yeah, it was
that one is
house.
because of the house.
Yeah.
This one, he's just a psychic because I totally forgot that he gets that vision before he goes to the hotel.
Mm-hmm. Now, some backstory about The Shining. We all know that it is based on the the Stephen King novel of the same name. Mm-hmm. And when Kubrick was reading the novel, he wanted to make a film because he just got off of making Barry Lyndon. So he wanted to find a new thing, like something more exciting. And when he found The Shining, he was like, this is it. This is what we're going to do. So when he acquired the rights to The Shining, Stephen King wrote a version of the script. And when he wrote the first version of the script, he gave it to Kubrick. And Kubrick was like, wow, thanks, Stephen. And then just chucks it in the freaking trash can. And then he's like, get out. I don't want to see your mug again. And he never collaborated with Stephen King in the development process.
So he just went off of his own and did like how he wanted to have it done? He didn't go off of Stephen King's advice or anything?
No, because what Kubrick did was that he wanted to have the novel as like a jumping off point. Is like very, very loosely. Like the only thing that's similar is the hotel, the characters, and very loose plot points.
He wanted to do his own thing with it, but just like using the basis of Stephen King's novel.
Yeah. And
so
then the film.
Right, so he was basically making his own.
Because it was going to be loosely based. He didn't want to get sued or anything. He didn't want to go about it that way.
Yeah, and so when the film came out and Stephen King watched it, he is notorious for hating the film. Like, he hated it. Like, he thought it had nothing. He thought it didn't have any of the original charm that the novel had.
Yeah.
And he saw it and he was like, this film, I think, because he said that Kubrick set out to make a film that hurts people, and he thought that's what The Shining was supposed to be.
Mm.
And The Shining is a lot like a person basically slowly going insane throughout this heavy isolation.
So it's a psychic ability that makes him go insane?
What was that?
It's his psychic ability that makes him go insane?
No, it was just being alone in a big hotel, and the isolation basically made him go insane. Also the ghosts.
But I think the reason why he had the ghost is because of his psychic ability, right?
He doesn't have a psychic ability.
I thought you just said that.
You said that he does.
Danny has it, but Jack doesn't.
What?
Jack, the father, is the one that goes insane.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking. So the little boy is the one that had the vision.
Yes.
The little boy is the one that has. So, but he sees. So then, so the house. The reason why Jack goes insane is because of the house.
Yeah, the hotel. Yes.
The hotel.
And when he goes into the hotel, after like a month or so goes by, he starts isolating himself from the rest of his family. Like when his wife Wendy comes in and is like, "Hey, I would like to make you some sandwiches or whatever, and maybe you can let me read something in a bit." And then Jack would be like, "You know what? I don't want to see your filthy mug again."
Well, no, because she let off with the wrong thing. She should have been like, "Hey, I want to suck your dick for a little bit behind this desk right here. You want to go for it?" He would have been like, yeah."
I think he would be like, I want to work on my novel because I'm impotent. I mean,
Well, she ain't doing it right then. I don't know what to tell you.
That's why.
probably she's probably what she would do. Between you and me, I would totally do Shelley Duvall, but
What? You would totally what?
do
So do you
Shelley
all
Duvall.
believe to get to move on from that? Do you believe people have psychic abilities, like the mediums and what is it, gypsy style?
Yeah.
Do
you believe
some
in
people,
that, Nate?
you believe some people can do that, read the auras in your future from your palm and make dreams and they kind of hints toward the future? Do you believe in that?
That's a bit pagan for my taste.
What?
Pagan.
What?
What'd you say?
I didn't.
What? Oh, it's a bit pagan for my taste.
Oh, do you celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, it's not pagan. I don't know. I don't care what you say. It's not
I'm
pagan.
not saying. I'm just saying. Do you believe
That is very
some
pagan.
people have?
It's not.
You don't believe in that at all. You don't think that. You think people are just bullshit, basically, when they say they have dreams or get vibes from people or can read people. You don't believe in any of that.
I think it's true to an extent. Yeah.
The TV shows with the mediums and they're talking to their dead loved ones. You don't believe that. You think that's fake.
Oh yeah, it's notorious for being fake.
Damn.
Because Houdini constantly debunks these people, and it started off as it being a scam when this lady heard her daughters making noises in the creaks of the house, and then she was like, I can make money off of this, and then that's how that started. So
I wouldn't know. I've never gone to any kind of tarot reading or anything like that. I'm just I don't want to know. I just
See, I'm curious.
I just want to live my life the best that I can and help as many people as I can and just be at peace.
Yeah.
While I'm here.
All right. So going. All right. So going. Oh.
Sorry.
How much time do we have?
I want to talk a little bit more, maybe another 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, going back to The Shining, one of the scariest things I also think about The Shining is that the main person who wants to kill his family is the father, who is the one person who you believe to be the one who protects the family. So the role is him wanting to kill everybody. So what do you guys think about that? What would happen if your husband decides, you know what, I want to kill everyone because a bunch of ghosts told me to?
You gotta do what you gotta do and save your kids.
Mm-hmm.
If your husband is acting crazy like that, I mean, you're gonna do whatever any person would do, any mom would do, or any mom should do. You're gonna protect your kids and put them down.
Would you try to protect the kids without killing them because you're your husband, or would you just try that would be your first go-to, or you would just screw it, I'm killing my husband?
No, I'm gonna try to harm him to put him down, so that he can't, harm us. I'm not gonna instantly go headshot that motherfucker.
Touch me, my kid.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. At that point, you're just how do I solve a paranormal thing from happening?
I'm sure it'd be
a shock. That would be a paranormal thing. I don't think someone wouldn't with that mentality that has a mental health issue that would do that. I don't think they would just go through life without any red flags popping up. You'd have a history of wait, something's wrong with you, before it even got to that. And if you would let it continue without, anyone addressing it or him getting any kind of help, and you just let it get to that point, well, you're kind of dumb.
Because the movie though, there was no red flags, and all of a sudden he's just possessed.
Yeah.
You have no red flags, right?
Yeah. If it's the movie, you have no red flags, so it's just
you're being shocked.
Yeah.
In the film, the thing that sets Wendy off was the typewriter thing. the famous typewriter scene where he's just typing, all work and no play makes
Yes. See, that's a red flag.
Jack a dull boy.
He's
Yes.
like looking at it, and she's like, what the hell?
And it's like pages and pages and pages and pages of that.
Yeah. So you're kind of like, what the fuck? Like, how would somebody sane like just sit here and do so many pages just like that? You know?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so I kind of want to go back and rewatch it now.
It is.
You can watch it on Hulu if you want.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to talk about The Shining before we finish up is you guys both have seen it, right?
What?
The Shining?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you guys remember the scene of the bear costumed man?
No, see, it's been a while since I've seen
what?
it.
The bear costumed man. Do you remember that scene?
The bear costume man?
Yeah.
No. See, I remember the twins. I remember the old lady ghost. I remember the bartender ghost. I don't remember a man.
Yeah. Well, in this is a scene where things are just going all over the place. The hotel finally decided to, show Wendy its true colors, like ghosts are going everywhere, all that kind of stuff. So Wendy was running up the stairs, and she turns and looks up, sees this open hotel room called not called anything, but she sees this guy in a bear costume, like over like laying over the bed, kind of like with his knees on the floor, and then the rest of his body like on top of the bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he seems to be doing, I guess, fellatio, I guess you could say, on this other guy who is just wearing like a tuxedo. And
fellatio, you gotta talk to me and tell me what that is.
You don't know what that is? Jackie, do you know what that is?
No.
Yes, you do.
I don't even know if I want to know. Like, I don't know what you're going with this. But...
Just
But,
say it.
You mean oral? That's what it is.
He was giving another guy oral.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so, but then they hear Wendy outside, and then they just like kind of like eerily just look up at her, and the guy who's lying on the bed just creepily just like goes up into the door, just like sits up on the door frame, and they just look at her, and then she's like freaked out, and then she's like runs in the opposite direction. And so a lot of people are like, who is this guy? What is the deal with this guy? Because he never comes up again. What's the deal with this?
I'm wondering why they even put that scene in there. Is that what you're saying?
Like a lot of people are like that. A lot of people believe that it is supposed to be in reference to a scene in the book where one of the owners of the hotel has a homosexual relationship with this guy, and he has like this kink where his partner dresses up as a dog. But that's what a lot of people think.
Stephen,
this is the thing they're gonna leave on.
Stephen King has a twisted. No, I'm just like,
Yeah.
This is what we leave on, guys. Like,
he nasty. Stephen King is nasty.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that why show that at all if that's all they're gonna see? And also, why did they change it from a dog to a bear? Yeah.
You never know. I mean, he probably just, remembered it while he was writing it, or while he was, directed it or whatever. He was just like, yeah, we're gonna do this.
What do you mean?
Sometimes there's decisions that are made that are not like that well thought into, and sometimes are.
I would agree with you if it was anybody but Kubrick. Because
Okay.
Kubrick, he would do things. Everything had a purpose with him. He was such a person who was very controlling. And he really wanted to do it a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would do takes 100 times in order to get it right. So a lot of people, other than just we just couldn't find a dog costume, so we're using a bear costume instead. What do you guys think the bear guy is?
I don't know. I mean,
You know?
I personally feel like he just referenced it from the book. Like he just wanted to put that in.
He's already gone off on his own vision, but he like wanted to loosely base it off the book. So that was just another tie to the book, and that's it. Like pretty much it was just a tie.
I think
why not just use a dog costume then?
Maybe because they're out. Isn't it like they're out in the wilderness kind of thing, and a bear's more relatable to that than a dog?
Yeah, he just wanted a bear costume.
He still wanted to make it his own. He didn't want to copy it exactly, but it's just another tie. It's just a loose tie.
I think that too. I don't think it was.
I think you're thinking way too much into it.
Unless you know for a fact why he did it.
Yeah. What I think it is that if you look at the motif and the symbol of bears throughout the film, I think it becomes pretty clear what it means.
Okay, I'll have to rewatch it and take a look at that.
You gotta watch it very, very closely. So one of the things is that when the Torrances enter their apartment, they see that Danny's room has a picture of two bears on it, one sitting down and one standing up. So, and then it's the only time it's ever shown in the entire film. And then later on in another room, we see another painting, but with two naked boys doing in the same position. So we're like, I wonder if that means something.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people believe that some people believe that the bear costume man is supposed to represent this sexual abuse that Danny is receiving from Jack.
Oh wow!
So that's what that's supposed to be, huh?
Is he?
Like, did the director confirm that, or that's just people's speculation?
That's people's speculation because Kubrick refuses to talk about anything in terms of interpretation.
I don't even know.
Yeah, but another thing is that whatever it is, it has to be a symbolic thing and not like because. I know it's implied that the guy was giving the other dude oral, but I mean the guy was wearing a mask that didn't have a mouth hole, so what?
Like how was that?
Yeah, because whatever it is, it had to be a symbolic thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think it's that, and another thing was that that'll be the last thing I promise, and it's where. The relationship that Kubrick had with the actors. The thing is, like, he hated Shelley Duvall. He hated her with a passion. He thought she was like the worst actress ever because she would not perform the lines that he wrote for her. So
couldn't he have just fired her?
Like why they have to like recast and everything, and
but if she auditioned, right? So why he hired her from her audition?
Yeah, but at the same time, like he said, he's really controlling. So most times, they're pretty flexible, and they're like, yeah, as long as you get the general like idea out of what you're saying, they let you improv, But this guy, he was pretty adamant about her sticking to the lines, right?
Right. Yeah. And whenever and after like the 100th time, he would be like, you know what, just don't say anything at all. And so he just cut most of her lines. So that's why most of her screen time is just her screaming and stuff.
Wow.
And she would like bring her to tears every day, and she would cry for hours every day in her trailer because this guy hated her so much.
Oh, that's so sad.
And he treated her so poorly.
I feel bad for her. Like, that's messed up. Because, you hired me, and I feel like she must have been doing that at the audition, too. You don't just, I'm going to do some audition, then I'm going to do my own thing, whatever I want. He had to know,
yeah, but, some directors are really anal, and, they make it so, you have to listen to what they're telling you, and in a way where you're so how do I say you obey them, because they feel like they're high and mighty because they're higher up.
Pick up on the audition though,
Well, no, he sometimes isn't at the audition. You don't know if he was at the audition. you don't know who
So
was
someone else
casting
hired her?
and somebody else, you know,
It's
gave her the
crazy.
part or whatever. So for a director, when someone doesn't listen to them, you know, they're kind of like, what? You're not listening to me and I'm the director? Some of them are like that, right, Nate?
Yeah.
Unless you're like the A-list.
So they go on
celebrity.
like power trips. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but Kubrick loved Nicholson. Those two were like best buds.
But wasn't he like a A-lister already? So it's just like when you're an A-list celebrity, you have more leeway to be like, no.
Yeah, was that girl B-list or what?
I don't know. I've never heard of her before or after this, so possibly.
Jack Nicholson was already big, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
she's been in a lot of things too, but I think at that time,
Yeah.
she still wasn't as famous as him.
Yeah, because at this point, Nicholson did One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He did Five Easy Pieces, and so, and also,
And back then, women still weren't as like equal.
Well,
They weren't considered as equal that much.
we've never been.
Yeah, they didn't get paid as much. That's they never were considered. They weren't respected as much.
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, but after the film was completed, Stephen King, he hated the film, so he was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a version myself. So he wrote a 3-part miniseries called Stephen King's The Shining. And
Never seen it.
well, yeah. And it was filmed in the Stanley, which was the actual hotel that Stephen King based the Overlook on. And it is very boring. It is not scary. So, that's that. Alright, and that is the end of that.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Jackie, again for coming and with this delicious cake and delicious cookies from where again?
Whisked Away Bakehouse and not smart. I'm telling you, Main Street Coffee in Crable.
So, Jackie, is there anything you want to plug? Oh, that's very scary.
Yeah, we'll plug it in below in the description. We'll plug in her Instagram and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, and for any real estate needs, she got you. Yeah.
You left her hanging. Okay. High five.
Nate, continue your spiritual quest.
I will.
Good luck to you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.